there with young children, doesn't see it, leaves a butcher knife stuck there. And you know what? Does Dr. Janet Taylor, I mean, he should be writing scripts in Hollywood. That's what he should be doing.
Well, absolutely, and the facts speak for themselves. I mean, it was his ex-girlfriend. Reportedly, he might have seen her sipping wine with someone else. He became enraged, and the reality is that when there's domestic violence, the highest risk is after a breakup, one of the highest risks. So, I mean, he has a lot of motivation to really be just enraged and lost it. Essentially, he could have killed her.
Dory, North Carolina, your question or thought?
My thought is that he's ridiculous, and he was trying to kill her. He was enraged. He came with a knife, and he should be convicted to life in prison.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, this guy and his ex had a very ugly breakup. He had revenge on the brain. He admitted that he went to her home to apologize for, are you sitting down, everybody? Stealing her vibrators and marijuana from her home. Now, that's darn nasty. That's darn nasty. And one more thing. He also admitted that he emailed her employees photos of the two of them having sex. Dylan Howard, please take that one away.
Jane, this is one of these cases where, unfortunately, the truth is stranger than fiction, and it reads like something out of Hollywood. Now, his defence team has somewhat foolishly tried to create a level of question of credibility over his ex-partner Kendra Beebe by saying that she lied at a previous custody battle. So this is all set up now for the jury to make a verdict in this, and as you say, well, they're going to look back upon the testimony yesterday, and that's either going to make or break Shelley Malil's career and life.
He's going to be a Karate Kid too, but I think he's probably going to go away for a while. All right, fabulous guest, thank you so much. Oh, you won't believe this. Breaking news in the search for missing Utah mom, Susan Powell. You will not believe some of the new developments just coming down right as we speak. And next, I'm going to talk one-on-one with Casey Anthony's defense attorney, the one and only Jose Baez, and why he has hired some more members of their dream team. We're going to talk about that in a moment.
That's all I have.
Nope. You slandered me on TV.
Stop.
And you perjured yourself with this because she's not Fernandez. So there you go. You want to fight it? Go for it.
At Best Western, you get more. Right now, stay 2 separate times and earn double rewards. And because our independent owners want to make sure you're rewarded with even more, earn triple rewards when you book now at bestwestern.com.
Hi, folks.
Hi. We're ready to switch our car insurance to Progressive.
Today just seemed like a great day to save. Oh, it's not just today. With our free loyalty program, you earn great stuff like accident forgiveness and bigger discounts just by staying with us.
Oh. Ooh. So what you're saying is it gets even better with age.
Oh. Tell me we're still talking about insurance.
Rewarding loyalty. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Hey, what's going on?
Doing the shipping.
Man, it would be a lot easier if we didn't have to weigh them all.
If those boxes are under 70 pounds, you don't have to weigh them. With these priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service, if it fits, it ships anywhere in the country for a low flat rate.
No way.
Nope.
No way?
Yeah.
No way.
Sure.
No way?
No way.
Yes way, no way.
Priority mail flat rate box shipping starts at $4.95, only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
Oh, no! I just parked here a second ago! Give me a break, will you? No.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
On second thought, I think I'll walk.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
All right, Team Haribo. Favorite flavor and color. What do we got?
Well, sir, my research shows that orange is the most popular Haribo Gold Bear.
Sounds good to me. My focus group likes the green. That's good news.
My data shows that lemon is the most popular.
Actually, clear pineapple is the best according to my calculation.
Excellent.
The buzz online's all about red raspberry. What's your favorite, JB?
I like them all.
That's why they pay you the big bucks.
I want to see the most college football.
So I ordered ESPN Game Plan on DirecTV.
I get up to 15 out-of-market games per week.
The top conferences.
And key matchups.
Games you can't get anywhere else.
And the games I want to see.
Order the regular season offer and get the best college football with ESPN Game Plan on DirecTV. To order for only 3 payments of $44.99 each, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or visit directtv.com/gameplan.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
Hello, MacGruber.
Putting together a team.
Such a jet, MacGruber.
What about your music?
It can wait.
It's irreverent.
Put your pants back on.
Edgy.
In the end, you used me as a human shield. Vicky, did I just use him as a human shield?
Yeah, you kind of did.
And very, very funny.
Good for you.
No, good for us.
Catch the never-before-seen unrated version, MacGruber. Now playing on DirecTV Cinema. Same day as Blu-ray and DVD. Movies playing on channels 125 through 199.
Breaking news to tell you about right now. We are waiting to find out if the body of a woman found on a remote Wyoming ranch is that of missing wife and mother Susan Powell. The unidentified body was found last week about 400 miles from Powell's hometown of West Valley City, Utah. This body reportedly matches Powell's general description. However, just moments ago, we here at Issues heard from a Powell family representative. They believe this is not Susan. This is a story we've covered so much right here on Issues. Susan disappeared 9 months ago. Her husband, Josh, has maintained that she disappeared while he took their sons camping in the middle of the night. He is considered a person of interest. We're going to stay on top of this and bring you the very latest on all of this tomorrow here on Issues. Also tonight, breaking news. Casey's dream team just got a whole lot dreamier for the indigent defendant. The announcement came this morning at a last-minute news conference. Casey's getting 3 new powerhouse lawyers, 3 added to the team. A replacement death penalty defender, a medical witness, and a new guy to handle that whole Zandy the Nanny drama. Casey's attorney, Cheney Mason, explained it today.
We're up against the state attorney's office that has changed its position of death penalty or not death penalty, have unlimited resources, a law firm of 150 people, and they can bring whatever resources to bear they want to. We're having to scrap from the bottom up against all of them. And as has been said, when all of the enemies got me surrounded, that's good because I know I got them right where I want them.
Not backing down, is he? But time out. What about the price tag for all of this? Aren't Florida taxpayers on the hook for a mountain of legal bills already? Turns out the new people are going to work for Casey Anthony pro bono, which means for free. Meantime, Casey's defense team is claiming that the state is withholding critical evidence from them and has been for 2 years. Just how critical? Well, we're going to go straight out to my very special guest, Casey's lead attorney, Jose Baez. Jose, thank you so much for joining us. You held this big news conference today. Tell us why you felt the need to hire more attorneys, and how many do you have at this point on your dream team?
Well, hello, Jane.
Hi.
Well, the issue is this. We're facing, as Cheney mentioned, unlimited resources. And it's something simply that we cannot
What do you mean, unlimited? What do you mean by that?
Well, the prosecutors in this case don't work on other cases. This is their case to prosecute, and meanwhile, we have to maintain a full practice. There's over 200 lawyers in that building, and they can just pick up the phone and have any number of law enforcement officers go out and investigate whatever they need investigated. We simply can't compete with those types of resources. So I would tell you that what we have up very close to what we're up against is minimal. It really is.
Now, how do you divide up the labor with that many attorneys? And I understand you have something like 8,000 documents, who knows how many pages. And with all these new attorneys coming on all the time, how do you catch up and get a handle on all this evidence?
Well, first of all, it's 23,000 documents and over 300 hours of audio and video. Every alphabet of law enforcement has taken part in this case. And, we're fortunate that I have a lot of experience behind me with all of these lawyers, and everything that they're doing is very specialized. So these are lawyers that can pick up the ball and run with it and deal with their specific area and their specific issues. And that's what we're hoping that the new members will be able to contribute.
All right, so today's big announcement, 3 more big-time lawyers joining Casey's dream team. And, you know, you guys went out of your way to make us aware that these people are not going to be charging the taxpayers. Let's listen to exactly what was said at the news conference.
Ann Fennell graciously accepted my arm twisting to come in and join the rest of us in a pro bono effort to defend Casey. And there again, you know, a twisted arm for another lawyer to come in and help pro bono.
It takes a lot to ask a lawyer to sign on, to be a part of a case, and even more importantly, to do it pro bono.
When you're pro bono, you can really be selective.
Here's my big issue, pro bono, pro bono, pro bono. That was a lot of talking about pro bono. But last question to you, Jose. Are taxpayers not on the hook for some of Casey's defense? I understand that the tab has been 6 figures at this point already. Death penalty expert Andrea Lyon had billed several thousand. You've been paid. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't be paid, but you're talking about these new people pro bono, but there's still a lot that the taxpayers are going to foot.
There's a lot that the taxpayers have not paid for. And the taxpayers are paying for this prosecution, number one, first and foremost. And all of the lawyers on this case are not being paid by the state. It is just the costs that are being paid, such as depositions and things like that. It's not an issue. If Casey had the public defender's office representing her, they would have to pay for the lawyers and the costs. So in actuality, the taxpayers are paying much less than they would normally pay if Casey was to use the public defender route. So that's Jose, a big misconception.
We're going to ask you to stand by. I know we're going to talk about another really extraordinary case that you're handling in just a moment. And we're going to move on for a second with the Casey Anthony case. So stand by there, and I'm going to bring in, I'm delighted to be joined by another major player in the Casey Anthony trial. William J. is the lawyer who represents Casey's ex-boyfriend, Tony Lazzaro. Tony is the one who was seen on the secret undercover video with Casey's brother Lee. Cops actually fitted Tony with a wire so he could try to get information about little Kaylee from Lee. William J., thank you for joining us. I think that the most significant testimony that your client could offer is that he was dating Casey Anthony when the child disappeared, and he had no idea for the whole month that she was missing before Cindy called 911. Is that correct?
That is what his prior statements definitely say, is that he didn't know anything about it. And he was interviewed several times by the police, and his story has never wavered from that.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's dating her, and she is not telling him that her daughter's missing, even though her contention is that she was secretly searching for her daughter during that time. Is your client going to be called as a key witness in this case?
I would expect that he's going to be called as a key witness both during the fact phase and perhaps if there's a penalty phase to talk about Casey's behavior during that month as well for possible mitigation if there is a sentencing phase. So I think he's a key witness for both parts of the case.
All right. Well, thank you, William J. Please come back soon. And thank you again, Midwin Charles. Always great to have you. More with Jose Baez after the break.
Somewhere in America, there's a doctor who can peer into the future. There's a nurse who can access in an instant every patient's past. And because the whole hospital's working together, there's a family who can breathe easy right now. Somewhere in America, we've already answered some of the nation's toughest healthcare questions. And the over 60,000 people of Siemens are ready to do it again. Siemens. Answers.
Did you ever try to get somebody to pay attention to you when you're disabled? Well, that's how Binder & Binder got to be America's most successful Social Security disability advocates. We listen to you and we get results. Call 1-800-66-BINDER.
You are a business pro. Lord of the carry-on. Sovereign of the security line. You never take an upgrade for granted. And you rent from National, because only National lets you choose any car in the aisle and go. You can even take a full size or above and still pay the mid-size price.
I deserve this.
You do, Business Pro. You do. Go National. Go like a pro.
You know, I've been looking at the numbers, and I think our campus is spending too much money on printing. I'd like to put you in charge of cutting costs. Calm down. I know that it is not your job. What I'm saying... Excuse me?